Gentlemen, this is now the Avi Mini show. I'm just going to... No, I'm joking. Where's your microphone?
Censoring me.
Mr. Yamini. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is Avi Yamini, if you've never heard of him before.
Firstly, I just want to tell you, Rukshan is not a wedding photographer. He filmed my wedding. I haven't got any of the footage.
He hasn't paid me. You guys believe that, right?
I was crowdfunding it. So, no, but I did... last night on the show, you called me out for not giving you the book that I promised I'd give. And as hard as it was, I got one free book for you.
One free book for me. Thanks, Avi.
But before you use it, we've got to have it in the shot.
There's a note in there.
Don't read it. Rukshan wrote it.
Says,
you want to see
Brother
it?
Morgan, thanks for always being a good mate. Oh, thanks, Avi. So I've actually known Avi for over 20 years. Believe it or not, we grew up in some similar areas, and I've witnessed Avi's development for a very long time now, and I've witnessed the trials and tribulations that he has been faced with in his life. He's from a very big family, Orthodox Jewish family. I mean, that's a little bit of a spoiler, so probably Avi would prefer you to read that in the book.
Book's gone.
But that's fine.
They're big
and
letters.
He had a vision. He had a vision along the way to get into independent journalism and broadcasting. And the first question I really wanted to ask you was, when did you figure out that this was a path that you were interested in, and what motivated you to take the first step in getting started?
Well, hi everyone. So I'm somebody that likes attention. And if you read my book, you'd know that. But I'm one of 17 kids, and I think in the beginning, to survive, that's what I needed to do. And then I enjoyed surviving, so I thrived on it. And I found someone like Rukshan who failed at wedding photography, and I thought he's really good at the technical side of it. But for real, I think for me, journalism, I think when we knew each other when we were teenagers.
That's right.
You still owe me money for that
Better
drug.
or worse, yes.
Anyways, I'll get that after the show. But
speak to my assistant.
But we reconnected when I think... So personally, for me, the experience was when I owned gyms after serving the IDF, and I was introduced to fake news when I saw the way they were reporting on something that I was like most Aussies, I was apathetic. I didn't really care. I thought, politics, Liberal, Labor, they're both the same. I couldn't have told you, I wouldn't have been able to tell you the difference between Liberal and Labor, even though that doesn't say much these days because you probably still can't. But I'm saying I didn't know the difference between left and right. And then when I saw reporting on ABC about an operation in Israel in the Gaza Strip where I'd been stationed for 3 years, and it was something I actually knew about. I knew what it really was like, and I realised what they'd done and how they distorted the story. And I started just speaking up about that, and that's when I first, I guess, found my voice. And I hated running gyms. Oh, my God.
Yeah, because I remember originally you were making posts from your gym's Facebook page.
That's right.
And some of your members really appreciated your commentary. Some were a little bit discouraged by it and said, hey, Avi, it's a business, it needs to be neutral. And then you decided to make a page with your own name. And that that built up, that got taken away. And somehow you came back again. So talk to us a little bit about that. I actually remember when that was taken away, and you were devastated for good reason.
Yeah, but I'm a bit like a cockroach. So
you're doing your own trolling now. I mean, there's a lot of people that do that for you.
Okay. Hey, last night's feed, he got smashed.
He got smashed.
Usually it's me. Everyone likes Rukshan.
I don't know why people don't
like
Rukshan.
Who here likes Rukshan?
That's why he's keeping me here.
You're all dead to me.
It's just...
Rukshan, everybody likes. I only hang out with him because I really like Sri Lankan food. And his wife, am I allowed to tell him?
Tell him, it's fine.
Do you know him and his wife share names? He's Rukshan, she's Rukshani. Holy crap. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever heard? I know this is meant to be...
That's why I talked to her in the first place.
And she's actually nice. So I don't know how we got onto Rukshan.
I don't know. You guys just keep going. Everyone's enjoying this.
But no, so then that's where, and then we hung out because somehow it was the activism within that role. And I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I hated gyms and I knew I liked talking. And people were listening, and I knew that the ABC were full of shit. Yeah. It doesn't matter what issue, you know whatever they're pushing is a lie.
What about the Jewish news? Are they...
They're worse.
I remember, actually, I was running a combat sports supply business.
That's right. So we actually met.
We met up. You made a few orders. And then shortly after, I remember you were speaking about, I don't think I can do this gym anymore. I've got something to say. I want to say it. I'm kind of annoying my colleagues. And then the gym became like a base point for attending protests. All right, we'll meet up at the gym. We'll go to a protest. You know, Avi will lead the protest, and then he'll get a microphone out and maybe do a bit of journalism as well. And I think you were just sort of figuring out where you fit in. Yeah. And you know, we saw you develop through TR News, which I think was, you know, really significant for your development. Now into genuinely a household name across the country. A lot of people, a serious amount of people, watch Rebel News. So it's a big transformation that I don't think everybody necessarily realizes took place probably over about a decade. You know, this didn't happen overnight. So, I mean, on a serious note, and it's very hard to get Avi to be serious, as you can see. I want to ask you seriously, what was the biggest challenge you faced, and how did you overcome it throughout this journey, this transition from you were a soldier, you were a gym owner, and now you're a very big name in independent media?
Okay, so the hardest one for me through the period, I like to talk, and I was silenced.
Yeah, we get that bit. Yeah,
I was, but I was silenced, and I think a lot of people can resonate with that on different issues. But I was silenced for a number of years about even talking about myself, and that's why the whole book came up, is because for a number of years, people... Yeah, put it to the camera. I like it. But for a number of years...
I'm not getting commission. Oh, I'm actually not, but anyway. He would never pay. Sorry.
I promised commission, but we have an interest arrangement, and somehow I win. But no, I was silenced for a number of years about talking about parts of my life where... the mainstream media loved to talk about, and my detractors loved to talk about, and they knew that I had my hands tied and I wasn't able to talk about. And for me, that was the hardest, because I don't mind. I don't care when people call me names. I really don't. And I've been called every name under the sun. Some of them that were funny. Back in the days, remember in the beginning, when they called me a Nazi, I ran with that. I used to wear the kipper on my head. My relationship with God is complicated. It's been long, and you know, I've got a brother who's a chief rabbi, and I've got another brother that's the chief anti-rabbi. There's 17 of us, so I'm somewhere in the middle. I respect people's right to practice and preach whatever they want, as long as you don't tell me what I got to do. But for me, the names that was the hardest to take were when it was a lie, not just a lie. Okay, I'm not a Nazi as well. when it was a lie that I wasn't allowed to respond to, and a lie that I just had to cop, and a lie that I found harsh, and that almost my silence, people took it as an admission of guilt. People don't realise that you get silenced in our system in several ways, whether it's through social media, but also through the courts or whatever it is. So for me, in this journey, the hardest part has been sitting there and copping it. It's taught me patience. It's taught me that also, at the end of the day, if you're standing for what's right and you're actually not what they call you, you'll get through to the other end. And now I'm there. I am actually in the best place in my life. Rukshan's in the second best. I feel bad for him sometimes, but he just enjoys it. It's weird. It's weird. He's so cute.
Rukshan's just chilling, listening to Avi.
He loves it.
You know,
Rukshan is the only
sure
person in this world that I know actually does not give a shit. Like, we all pretend. We pretend not to care. Rukshan is the only person who doesn't care.
I want to hear from Rukshan. Is that an accurate description of your personality?
Yeah, I don't care.
Zero.
I
Zero.
literally don't care.
You know, like trolls smashing you online.
No.
And you said yesterday in the podcast that you actually frame some of the troll comments.
I love it.
Is that true? Do you actually?
Yeah.
He's
I love
never
it.
banned anyone.
No, I don't ban people on,
Really?
on my social media.
I
no.
banned him. I banned him.
I mean, I
He
enjoy blocking
annoys me.
people. It's kind of like getting security to throw someone out. You know,
Nah,
it's like,
Rukshan.
get him out.
Oh, take me. That wasn't a racial thing, you bigot.
It's not racist if I'm laughing.
No.
No.
He voted yes to that joke.
I mean, you know, it's good to have thick skin. All right, so talk to us.
Okay,
The future.
serious.
The future.
The future.
What is the future for you? Where do you see Rebel News Australia heading? Are there any plans to expand into other parts of the country? What's going on?
Do you know what? I look at this audience and I think, holy shit, Morgan brought out a massive crowd that I could never bring. And I think my future, I want to be more like you. I want to be more like... Honestly, this is... Morgan, how do you do that?
That's true.
Thanks.
No, it is incredible because back in the days we did protests and we do events. God, I got a book signing event. I think I'm going to cancel it because I don't think I'm going to get even a tenth of what you've got. Guys, come please.
By the way, where is the event and how can people attend? You know? There might be someone out there.
27th of August. It's going to be after New Zealand, so we might be dead. Rukshan's coming to that too. So I have this trick. When they come for me, I hide behind Rukshan. I did it at all the protests. It was great. 27th of August, it'll be in a city. You can find those details at Rebel From The Start, where you can get the book as well, rebelfromthestart.com. But no, it is amazing. And where do I see the future of Rebel News? I'm one of those people that doesn't look too far in the future because it probably scares me. I don't know.
Just live in the moment.
Live in the moment and...
Don't think, do, right? Just don't think too much, go and do it.
For good or for bad, that's how I've lived my life. But I am in a good place now, so
good.
Hopefully I'll be in a better place in 10... When did you say? How long did you give me?
Like 2 days.
2 days.
I actually think there's a lot to be said for that. I have a good friend of mine, I think he's in the audience tonight. He said to me, you know what, Morgan, do more, think less. I think that overthinking is a major problem for so many of us, overcomplicating situations, thinking about a million different outcomes. Sometimes you got to just roll your sleeves up, get in there and get the job done. And
no one's ever said that I've overthought.
Oh, no, I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to people who actually think.
Allegation.
You know, there's people that think out there, not, you know. I mean, if the whole world had a brain like Avi and Minnie, it'd be a strange place. Just imagine that every single person here was exactly like Avi.
God would be Rukshan.
I don't think there'd be a God if everyone was like you, bro. But no, I'm joking. Any final thoughts, closing comments, call to action? What is a message of inspiration that you would like to give to your Victorian extended family?
We went through some of the toughest times, I think, anywhere in the world. And the world looks at us. I know I have friends now globally, not in the globalist sense. I certainly don't have globalist friends. They don't like me. But I think the world looks at us and they say, wow, what happened to Melbourne? But I don't think they see is this. They don't see the kind of community that came out of what we went through. And I feel it every day. See, people think, it's funny because I was with a journalist who was writing a story which ended up being exactly what I expected, but he walked down the street with me, and it's in my book as well. I tell it because he wrote the story. He told the story in one way, but what really happened was we walked down the street and he followed me for a few days, and he was expecting people to throw shit at me, I think. I didn't take him to Rukshan's house because that would have probably happened. But we walked down the street and people were coming up and saying, hey, g'day, Avi. Oh, my God, you know, wow, I love that what you did, or that what you did, or I think that was a bit stupid. And I thought, yeah, me too. But he was shocked. He goes to me, I can see online, you know, you've got a following. People seem to like you online. They're probably Russian agents or something. But I didn't expect you to be this kind of popular on the street. And I said to him, mate, the world's not, and this is before Elon Musk's Twitter, right? So it makes more sense. I go, the world's not like, it's not Twitter. People don't just yell shit and run away. It's the real world. Most people live in it, and most people in Victoria lived through it. And I think the thing that we went through, and the silver lining of Victoria, is it's taken the average apathetic Victorian, and it's gone, oh crap, you know what? Policy may affect me. So people have woken up to the idea of we need change. Now, it's not necessarily so far mounted to much, but hopefully, and you know, one of the scary things is the misinformation and disinformation bill. That's just because Rukshan will have no one to talk to if they kick him off Facebook. I'll listen.
Thank you. And finally, where can people purchase your book?
Oh, I didn't think you would ask. There's a table at the back where Benji, he's the cameraman. Guys, everyone clap for Benji.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Benji is everything that's ever worked for us. He's never gotten the props he deserved, because you remember in the protest where you were crying victim? Benji, the man he is, the cops hit his camera one time when we were, I don't know, I think they were spraying pepper spray and bullets, and so we thought that's the direction we should run in for some reason. And we ran in that direction, and the chief, whatever he was, superintendent, whatever he was, the leading commander, hit Benji's camera, and he turned around and wanted to punch on with him. I'm like, okay, but just put the camera the right way. And Benji is the guy that really all the footage and everything that happened through COVID, he captured it. And Benji again.
Thank you.
And he's from Hong Kong. He's not made in China. Just for those of you bigots.
Gentlemen.
He's kicking us off the stage.
Thanks, brother. Avi, thanks, man. Good job. Well done, mate. Thanks, mate. You too. Give it up, Avi and Rukshan. An interesting odd couple, hey? An interesting match.